Welcome back to 2 miles per gallon RC, and today we have a behemoth and something that I have been waiting on for so long. I'm gonna waste no time, we're just gonna dive right in and get to opening it up. We have the Traxxas Unlimited Desert Racer today in their new colorway. I say new, it's actually been out for a couple months now. However, I am so beyond stoked for this thing. I've been wanting it ever since I got into the hobby, and today is finally that day. We have a solid rear axle, all metal gear servo. We have the TQI transmitter, direct drive transmission, yada, 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 yada. There are so many videos that you can look up on this thing, and you will not be disappointed with what you find. There are so many different variants that people buy and turn these things into. However, today we finally have our own. Before we get into it, I do have a couple things and the part numbers for you that we are going to be changing. After I did some research on this thing, we have new wheel hexes from Traxxas. This is gonna be part number 8568, as well as the the motor fan. I believe it has fins on it, but not a fan. This is gonna be part number 3476. I also picked up a couple batteries for the transmitter, and now let's get into it. For the longest time, and again, since I started getting into this hobby, I have wanted one so freaking bad. All the talk and debate on what's the best desert truck, and I personally think it's gotta be the UDR. Oh my freaking God, I got a little bit of foam there. This thing is freaking huge. I apologize if I sound like a child opening this thing up, but I am too freaking excited. Holy crap. In the back of the box, I believe we have some extra goodies here behind this foam. Exact same transmitter, TQI from Traxxas. You have the link spot in the back. If you have it, you can put it in. Battery jumper, if you're looking to run single batteries, tools, foam, no. This is actually a block-off plate if you're looking to run one large battery. Some foam, more foam, stickers, and then the information booklet, all in one package. Now, the super fun part. Oh my goodness, dude, I cannot contain myself. Oh. You know, I really was not a fan of this orange. I definitely prefer it over the green. However, seeing it in person and not just on the box, it's definitely very vibrant, but not as bad as I thought it would be. Oh, this thing is massive. Oh, that suspension is insane. Now, getting to all the innards of this thing is not an easy task. I think there are 20-something screws to undo, so we're gonna have to do that, and then we'll look at what's inside. But for now, just going over what we have here, this thing is freaking huge, and it's actually fairly heavy. I can't get over that suspension. Oh my goodness. All right, let's tear into it, get the body off, and go from there. Okay, I actually lied. Before we tear the body off, I wanted to get a closer shot of everything on here. This is freaking massive. Oh my goodness. Okay, for reference, up here, this is a 1/10 scale wheel that I have on my Slash 4x4. And in comparison, it dwarfs it. That thing is insane. Oh my goodness, they don't feel belted. The tires don't, however, they are quite stiff. They do have a little bit of flex to them. This is gonna be so sweet. We do have little tiny knickknacks in here, little 5 bottles, fake reservoir for the shocks. However, what is real are these 2 full-size spares that are usable. There's a hex nut that you take off. And then in the back here is, I believe, the drive shaft, which is usable. It's just hanging out. You undo these 4 hex heads right here, take it out, and you have a replaced drive shaft. This part alone, I believe, is $30, which is kind of nuts. We have our trailing lights back here and running lights. We have little bros. Oh, and they are actually quite large, I'm not gonna lie. We do have almost a complete and full interior, which is really cool, all stickered up. Moving to the front, you can see those screws that I'm talking about here, and we have 2 more light bars, as well as one large one all across the hood here. Now coming back to the back, getting a better look at the suspension, you can see the sway bars in action. This thing has an insane amount of travel. Holy crap. You can see the limit straps that are back there as well. We have dual shocks and coilovers on each corner, which is nuts. Flipping it over, you can kind of see the rest of everything. It is so beefed up. Okay, so we do have an aluminum drive shaft that's back here right now, and this is a solid rear axle. So as I turn the tires, they don't go in opposite ways. Now the front is live and open, but the rear is solid. That is insane. Little tire rubber piece there. We do have what looks to be a mock fuel cell, which is also really cool. And then our battery tray is right down here. So I believe we just flip that. And then, oh, there we go. Ah, now we have access to the batteries. Push this door back, flip it up. We got a little goodie piece of paper in here. Something about the tires. We'll look at that in a minute. We have our 2 battery connections that are all covered by this dust cover here, which is nice. Love to see that we're not going to get anything too crazy in there. Not the biggest battery tray that I've seen. I'll have to pull up the dimensions. I'll kind of put them on screen. But you're going to be limited on what size batteries you run and what milliamp hour. So put that back. Come down here, kind of fiddle with this a little bit. I think if we kind of do it like so. Oh, that lever was in the way. Okay. Push that forward, lock it closed. Good to go. Awesome. We do have plastic steering links here in the front, metal drive shaft or CV axle, plastic upper and lower control arms, metal body and metal shaft shocks. God, dude, this thing's insane. Okay, now for reference, I wanted to grab the slash that I have here and put it next to it. Oh my goodness. Now I don't have a whole lot of room just because of how much space this thing takes up, but kind of holding it next to it, God, the suspension is so different. And I thought the suspension on this thing was fantastic, but it is nothing compared to that. Oh, that is addicting. Holy crap. I believe this thing, although it says Pro Scale on the box, I believe that it's actually 1/6 scale or 1/7. I think it might be 1/7 actually. And obviously Traxxas Slash is 1/10 scale. Yeah. Now this little paper might actually be important that we found in the battery tray. It shows you how to cut and where to cut little slits to allow sand and dirt to escape that may accumulate into the tire through those breather holes. So do it, don't do it, it's up to you. I'm personally not gonna do it because I don't plan on running these tires and wheels for very long. However, they can become 2.5 times the weight according to this paper. So keep that in mind. Let's get this freaking body off. All right, after a metric hell of a time fiddling with this thing, getting the body off is not very easy if you have one with this light. And there are no videos explaining it very well. However, this little tab here, you kind of got to pry over the light, shift it around, get this top bar off, pull it down, and then you can get the rest of it off, and it is quite a pain. However, this thing is so freaking clean once it is off, and now we have access to the entirety of this cage. Now, it was only 12 screws, which wasn't too terrible. However, it is on there. Oh my goodness, and you can finally get a good look of all the workings. I can't stop doing that. That is so insane. Holy crap. Now I won't be taking the cage off just because I don't know that much about it yet. I don't quite know what I'm doing, and that seems pretty in-depth. And you really can't see a whole lot. So it's a 6S motor. You can either run a single 6S, dual 3S, or single 4S. However, that's not recommended. These higher power performance trucks, performance RC trucks, like the higher power stuff, they're meant to handle it. However, everything else is good. Everything else seems fine. And you can kind of get a lot better of a look at the bros that are in here. This thing is nuts. Absolutely nuts. Now with the roof and hood, this thing would look so mean. Just bare bones like this. However, we're not gonna be doing that. We're gonna run it with the body. We also seem to have a couple extra accessories back here. We have dual batteries and then some extra jugs of what I would imagine oil. Other than that, all the lights are kind of mounted to the frame. All the light wires are also mounted to the frame. So we have nothing else left to do or get into other than throw the body back on and throw some batteries in this thing and see it absolutely rip. The body back on and ready to roll. I do have some batteries charging over here. The batteries that I am using right now are these Huvo 5200 milliamp 80C each 3S batteries. Goodness. They're both rocking 11.1 volts, so it ought to rip pretty freaking hard. Now these are some cheapos, however, they've been working fantastic for me. I've been rocking these for 3 months now in quite a few different trucks, and they haven't lost any cell or any power at all. They balance perfectly. So if you're looking for a cheap battery brand that so far has worked for me, Huvo has been fantastic. So we'll get 2 of those charged up. I have the other one charging right now. And once that is in, we will throw it in and go from there. Oh man, it is on, it is working. It took me a minute to figure everything out. However, this thing is freaking bright. Now you also have 2 different light settings, or I guess 3. You can either just run your class light that's back here. You have low beam, which is what it's on now, and then high beam, which is absolutely nuts. And then as you saw, the brake comes on whenever you brake, and then same whenever you slow down. This thing is freaking nuts. I do not have enough room in this place to do anything, and it is insane. Let's see if you can even see it. Whew. See if you can do it again. Oh my goodness. Now, unfortunately, we will not be taking it outside right now. It is unbelievably cold, and I do not want to break this thing this quick and early. Now, I did have a little ramp in here that I was hoping to use, but I tried it once, and there is nowhere near enough space to get this thing running right now to do that ramp and clear it cleanly. So right now, she's going to be a shelf queen. However, it is insane how good this thing looks. And it makes me so freaking excited to run it in the summertime or spring, whenever that comes around. So I'm gonna try to get a couple glamour shots. I don't think that I have enough room because this thing is so fucking insane. However, with that being said, I hope that you guys have enjoyed this video. And until next time, peace out.